Welcome to my next monthly update. It's been a challenge with what I'm going through with the issue I stated in my last video about my weight. My therapist was wanting me to not do things that were triggering. So what happened was I haven't weighed myself because he wants me to avoid that because that could be a trigger. But what triggered me was taking my measurements. My hip measurement still hasn't gone back up. It's still 37 inches from where it was at. So it's dropped and it's still not back to 38 inches. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on, what to do about it. When I measured my waist had gone back up. So I'm like, okay, why did my waist go back up but nothing else? It's like, then I took, according to the website, a bra that fits when you do their calculations, like the standing bust, leaning bust, and laying bust. I lost on my laying bust measurement half an inch, which for their calculator, instead of being an I/J range, I'm down to an I, because all three measurements used to be 42 inches and now the standing is 41, leaning 41 and a half, and laying is 41. And how I overall been feeling, it's been feeling off. It's been feeling off. So the last time I felt this off this badly, it was because my hormones were off. And because my hormones, like dose, was off, I felt the way I'm feeling now, but not this bad. Because it's been getting to points in time where I just end up breaking down and crying and having, because I have also autism with alexithymia, so I'm having those huge mixed emotions that I hate dealing with. I just overall haven't been feeling good physically, especially this morning. I woke up late, a little bit later than I usually do, so my estradiol dose was taken late, and because I take it once a week, like every week on Wednesdays, so when you take it, your estradiol can spike up like this, but over the week it goes down and drops. So because I had taken it late, I felt further off. I just felt not good. But when I got the dose in me, the injection, I feel a little bit better, but not 100%. So last week, got a message in the My Chart that there was an opening, so I was able to get a sooner appointment than what my original appointment was. So Friday is my appointment to get everything checked, to find out what's going on and what they can do to further help with the treatment. I'm just hoping all it is just increasing my estradiol, or possibly may have to go back on the cream, the estradiol vaginal cream, which I really don't want to go back on the cream because it's a hindrance in some ways and expensive in some other ways with everything. Other than that, I had gotten okay, so what happened was I ended up with really bad neck pain to the point where I had to go into Instacare to get it checked. And when they checked my weight then, that was the last my weight was checked. I ended up, somehow I gained 3 pounds back out of the 9 that I originally lost. So, yeah. But my hips and butt area and my bust hasn't increased back to where it was. So that's where I'm struggling right now. Let's see here. And after my neck ended up getting better, because I had to take, because pretty much they gave me a shot for inflammation and had to take a muscle relaxer. Then the next week, last week, I ended up getting sick and recovering. And I recovered from that. Then when I took my measurements on Sunday, I was like, because I took my measurements because I was ordering some clothing and I needed to get my accurate size with what's going on. So that's like, I don't know if my waist measurement was because of being sick and all that, or if it's my hormone cycle, the hormones doing what they do, because usually when I get the cramps and bloating, it was 2 days later than usual this last month. So, because like nothing else had increased back, but it feels like my body's trying so hard to get back there. It feels like my breasts are trying to increase to that point, but it can't because the hormone difference from where I was compared to now. Back in November, when I stopped taking the estradiol cream. So that's what I've been struggling with. All that. So I haven't really gotten any more increases transition-wise. Just I'm stuck in that weird spot where my body's trying to get back there, but it's also, my bust is still kind of decreasing, which it's frustrating right now. I'm doing the best I can one day at a time. I just have to remember my appointment. It's Friday morning to get everything checked. And hopefully, it's just a simple fix, like increasing my dose, because what my body's doing, feels like it's trying to get back there. And the way I'm overall feeling, this feels exactly how I felt in the past when my estradiol wasn't high enough, when it was too low. But this, what I'm feeling now and what it felt back then compared to now, it feels like the same thing, but with more frustration because it feels like my body's trying really hard to get back there. more than it did in the past when the same thing happened. Having too low of estrogen. So my thoughts and feelings on this whole situation is I'm at that point where I pretty much want to just start taking the estradiol cream again and see if that fixes the issue. But at the same time, I can't because I need my levels to be where it's at, where it's going to be at without any extra things added right now to see what my levels are at, to further be able to determine what's going on. And but at the same time, I really don't want to take the estradiol cream for a bunch of issues and reasons I mentioned. So that's what's going on. That's what's happening. This last month has been more of a struggle with having a partial gain and a partial loss in my body's measurements. So just trying to deal with the emotions one day at a time, try not to get triggered, which is really hard right now because I can feel my body trying to get back there and it's struggling. So yeah, other than that, nothing has other things changed with my physical transition. The only other thing is still doing good with braces. Part of my bite is off a little bit onto the teeth on this side aren't lining up properly. And the gap that was right here is gone. The spring that right here has pushed the tooth this way, and the canine here is starting to move this way. So that's happened with that part. I'm just hoping, because I've been feeling more pressure on this left side, mostly the top, because the bottom tooth here, the top tooth here, this one, next to the canine on this side, and the corresponding bottom one, they're not lining up properly, so it's causing weird pressure. So, and the bite on this side's not 100% lining up. So dealing with that and dealing with the way my voice is sounding because the gap right here is closed from where it was. So I'm having that weird sound within my voice because of it. That kind of a sound, I'm noticing it a lot more. But trying to get used to, because for 30, little over 37 years, had a gap here, and now the gap's gone. So trying to get used to that is a challenge with it all. So yeah, and getting used to the way my voice is sounding right now is a challenge to get used to because I'm not used to having that or kinds of sounds happening more. So yeah. On that, There's nothing else going on. So we'll see what happens at my doctor's appointment and my orthodontist appointment the next 2 days, because I have my orthodontist appointment tomorrow. Then the next day, the next morning, the doctor's appointment for my hormones checkup and everything, and my weight being checked, and that whole issue I'm going through. So it's just hoping to all needs to be done is just rebalancing my hormones with a higher dose in some way, one way or another, and hopefully that's all it is, and can go from there. Other than that, there's nothing else going on right now. So until my next video, please comment, rate, and subscribe. And if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer any of them. So until my next video, good.